Hey YouTube, it's Red Cell Gorilla here again. Today we're going to go over defending green forces. Our agenda today is the disclaimer as always. Who is green for? The Greys. Why do guerrillas give a hoot? Green 4 operations and aiding green 4 as men of Christ or humanitarian aid missions. Now the disclaimer as always, the discussion in the slide deck, the conversation, and the videos contained in this channel are not explicit directions. It is only designed by Red Cell Gorilla to be informative and instructional for educational purposes. Red Cell Gorilla is not telling viewers to do anything illicit, illegal, or anything at all. This is simply a discussion based on the materials. These materials are open to the public, and most of what is discussed on this channel is an explanation of ATP 3-21.8, the Infantry Rifle Platoon and Squad, an instructional, tactical publication that is open for public distribution from the United States Army. Now, who's green for again? When I say indigenous personnel, I mean United States citizens. So these are the normal, everyday people going about their business, trying to go about their lives. However, we as Red Cell must recognize that we live in the Matrix. Some of these people are so hopelessly dependent upon the system that they cannot or will not take care of themselves. They will report you to the system because they believe that the system is their savior rather than enslaver. They love to lick the boot that is crushing them, especially financially at the moment. Now the Greys. This is a subset of Green 4. These are the Green 4 that are leaning more toward Red Cell. They don't know what they don't know, and they can be Red Cell auxiliaries. Greys are a subset of Green. And again, in the military training world, Green 4 is usually an indigenous fighter that is supposed to be on the side of Blue 4. Red Cell is going to be attacking Blue 4, and Green folks are going to have very mixed feelings about it. Hard Green folks are already aiding or siding with Op 4, being weird organizations like BLM and Antifa, siding with them in their hearts, while simultaneously hating Blue 4 and wanting Blue 4 to do something about BLM and Antifa burning down their cities. Greys are the humans that we might turn to as Red Cell in order to get aid. Someone who has fed the group, or someone who has dealt with the group personally because you have done something for them. If they see you and your homies on TV stirring shit up with White Cell and Blue 4, they will at least give pause and think, those guys must have a reason. Greys will defer to you and your group rather than turn you into White Cell and Blue 4. Remember the young store owner in Red Dawn, the young lady who gave the Wolverines toothbrushes and toothpaste and deodorant and soap and some of the other cool stuff from her general store? That is a Grey. The guy's dad, who was at the sports store on the outskirts of town, the hunting lodge, and gave them sleeping bags, hiking equipment, bullets, and guns. That is a Grey. These folks want to fight, maybe have some of the things to help you fight, but may not have the capability or are unable to fight themselves. Now, why does a guerrilla care? Well, Red Cell personnel usually care a lot more about their fellow man than Green forces are ever going to care about them or themselves or each other. The mentality of at least it wasn't me reigns supreme in a lot of the Green forces in the United States. But their lives will be much better after a true freedom is once again achieved. They just have to work for themselves, and working for themselves is what they are so afraid of. The way you are perceived as Red Cell is going to have a profound effect on whether they aid you as Red Cell or aid Blue 4 to find you. Remember, White Cell can't do anything about you. They have no answer for your violence. However, they see themselves as above the law of us mere mortals because they're the ones who created the laws. White Cell never thinks that they are going to be directly affected. They never think that they are going to be directly attacked because they live in the shadows and control everything else. But we as red cell are attacking white cell directly. Blue 4 just gets in the way. You don't need to have green 4 giving you everything or even aiding you that much, but you also can't run around killing green 4 because they don't like you or they hurt your feelings. Red cell isn't even targeting white cell for any other reason than the erosion of our God-given rights. Red cell only targets blue 4 because they are in the way of destroying white cell. This is because historically, blue 4 has proven time and time again they are going to be on the side of white cell because they don't make the laws, they just follow them, or they just enforce them. Now, green 4 operations are usually just regular daily things. They're going to work, they're going to school, they're doing their own thing. They are normal people. If they aren't doing anything against you, then really cool. However, they have been trained, because we live in the Matrix, to target other citizens. See something, say something is the Karen credo, and they will turn you in if you aren't gray manning it up. Are they going to know you have a gun? Probably not. I mean, if it's wide out in the open, sure deal. Are they going to know that you're wearing a slit plate carrier underneath your hoodie? No, they really don't care. They're too busy staring at their phones. Just don't roll around in camo constantly, and they aren't even going to notice you. Aiding green 4. Aiding green 4 is the hardest part. We want to take care of us and our circle as red cell, our circle being the homies that we're working with. However, our circle needs to extend to those who live in close proximity to us, so they think nothing but good things when they see our faces. Starting with your church is probably an okay idea, and ask them in if they need help with anything. If there's a widow or another family in need of help, then go ahead and give aid. Just be professional. This doesn't necessarily mean that you start paying for another family. This means you are giving them physical help and offer to give that aid for free without any payment in return. Right? We're just doing good things. Be a man of Christ. Help your neighbor out, right? Even better than your church group is deal with the neighbors that are next to you on your left and right. You probably have neighbors. Help them with even a menial task and ask for them to help you in a way you know that they can give, such as maybe some salt. Salt is one of those things that just about everybody has, just some regular table salt. And maybe you're making a cake or your wife is making a cake and you go over and you say, "Hey, Jim Bob, do you happen to have any salt?" And he goes, "Well, what are you using it for?" "I forgot to go down to the store today and my wife is making a cake. We need a little bit of salt." Okay, he's probably going to give you some, and that is going to help them feel needed, even if it's something you don't need, you already have. It's going to have them feel a little bit better connection to you, right? Now, everybody around you probably also needs some help, and you can help by doing manual labor for menial tasks. Mow a lawn for free, rake some leaves, pick up trash in your community, and people are going to look at you and go, "Wow, that's weird. That dude just went outside, didn't have a giant sign that said, 'Hey, look at me, I'm picking up the trash.' He just went outside and picked up some trash." You can't expect others to aid you if you aren't helping them. And more than that, you should be aiding others without the thought of return on your investment in time. You can give free classes if that's something you want to do. Home preparedness is a big one for folks out in the country. Help move some wood. We chopped wood for 4 to 6 hours on a Saturday for no other reason than a guy needed the wood. We're never going to see a return on that 4 to 6 hours. That was done for free. Most guys brought their own axe. That was it. Everybody needs help with something. And again, yeah, if you can be good with Blue 4 because they're more of a gray themselves, cool beans, man. Help them, be cool with them. My main worry with Blue 4 is that we know that their default fallback is to obey white cell. And I personally wouldn't have a Blue 4 member in your red cell. At conclusion, we've gone through the disclaimer like usual. Who's green for? The grays, which are the people that you're really going to want on your side. Why doesn't Ape care? Green 4 operations and aiding green 4 as men of Christ. Just go out there and help them. That's the end of today's transmission.